Hello. Uh, everybody, well, when you put videos on YouTube, pool videos, people want to know what's in the bag. What do you play with? Well, I play with these cues right now. This is a full set of Jacoby custom made to my specifications. Starting with my playing cue, my break cue, my Massey cue, and my jump cue. I didn't get a combination break jump cue. I was advised against it, so I got a separate break and jump cue. So, over the years, I've owned 6 different cues that I played with, that I actually used in league matches, money games. The one that's won the most money in money games is my Viking right here. I'll show them to you. Not because I've had it the longest, and I have them arranged from oldest to newest. Well, the latest that I had bought. So anyway, I bought this in '93 or '94. This is my Viking. Brand new. This cue here, back in '93 or '94, was $180. Was $160. Okay, it was $160. I saw it. I saw the colors in it. I loved it. I bought it. I bought it out of a catalog. I believe it was Mueller's Recreational. It is a 12 millimeter ferrule with an ivory ferrule. That is ivory. In fact, it's stained on the one side. I don't know if you can catch that as I roll it. But when you look really close at this, you can see the grain in the ferrule. This is not the original shaft. This is, I had cheapcues.com make me a new shaft while I was overseas on my second tour. Because on my first tour, my wife at the time left it in the car for a year and a half. It's very, very damaging to your cue. So we live in northeast, the northeastern part of the United States. So you have extreme weather, hot, cold, and so forth. Humidity, it'll kill your shaft. That's why you see the discoloration between the stainless on the shaft and the stainless on the joint. Well, I couldn't send him the butt of the cue, and I didn't trust anyone else to do it at the time. So I just said, just make the shaft and send it to me. If it's a little off, it's a little off. Who cares? It's not going to, I really do care, but it's not going to affect the playability of the cue. But it is gorgeous. It's similar to little Chris's Viking he has. The inlays anyway, with the inlays. But I love this thing. And it has, I always use an Elkmaster tip. Elkmaster soft, that's all it's ever been on this cue. After the original tip had come off. So my next cue is a Meucci. This is a 97-2. Very pretty stick, I think. And if you notice, there's a common theme among the cues that I use. Less is more. I don't like a whole lot of inlays. One, it doesn't make it play any better. Two, it's just, just too flashy. That's not who I am. Okay, so I'd rather have playability and have the ugliest stick in the world than you get what I'm saying. And be able to play well. That's the thing I like. Anyway, I bought this in 1997. 97-2 means it was made in February of 1997. Um, there aren't too many around anymore. This one is an interesting story. This is a stock Meucci shaft, pre-black dot and red dot and all that. It's a stock Meucci shaft. This is an ultra skin, their latest tip on here. I just had it put on. I went from a Kamui medium to this ultra skin medium. It has the typical Meucci mass production cues problem right here at the joint. It'll get, it's not machined really well as his custom cues are. Let's put it that way. The fit isn't as good as his custom made cues. But again, it was probably only a $250 stick, maybe $300 retail. I don't know. I don't know what the kid paid for it. But I simultaneously ran 4 businesses, and at that time, and a gentleman come into one of my stores, was a little hard up for cash. I paid $1.50 for it. I really like that cue. It plays well. And the interesting story about that stick is my first wife had given it to one of our mutual friends who was getting married as a wedding gift. So about 3 or 4 years ago, I called them up and I'm like, hey, do you still have that cue? They go, yes, we're not using it. Well, I'd like to buy it back from you, I told them. No, come get it. It's yours. Awesome. So I was very, very fortunate and very, very lucky to get that cue back. The next one is my Adams Balabushka GB01. This has a 12.5 millimeter ferrule on it. It used to have an ivory ferrule, but I was foolish at one time and I traded it for another Viking, and I eventually got it back. But by the time I had gotten it back, a couple months later, they said the ivory was loose and had it replaced. There was not a thing wrong with that ferrule on that because I played with it every day. So, and then I don't know what he did with the ferrule, but it's gone. But anyway, there's a Kamui pad on there, clear pad, but this is also an ultra skin tip. Oh, this one here weighs 17.5 ounces, my Viking. This is an 18, the 97-2. This is an 18, as light as I could get. It was as light as I could get this cue made. I was overseas when I ordered it. They gave me a pretty good price. Anyway, this is the reproduction Balabushka. This is the Adams version. And just because it's a reproduction means absolutely nothing when it comes to the playability of this cue. This is one of the best hitting cues I've ever had. It has to be in the top 3. In fact, of all the cues I've ever hit. I'm talking about Sean, I'm talking about Joss, I'm talking this thing. I'll tell you what, this is right up there. And you can say I'm crazy if you want, but this reproduction Balabushka is amazing. It's worth the money. Now, I got the GB01 because all the other ones were the same material. They were all made from the same material, but the inlays just cost you more. Does it make it play any better, the inlays? No. Again, I'm not a flashy kind of guy when it comes to this game. It has the nice orange color going into green, into black, and the points. It's beautiful. It's very understated. As you can tell, this wrap was a green and white speckle. It's now grayish white green speckle. It needs rewrapped, and I'm going to have that done. Matt's going to do it for me from Accelerate Billiard Products. So anyway, this is a very, very good quality cue for the money that you're going to pay, and it's not that expensive. Back in 2007, 2008, I think I bought this. It was $350, and it's perfect. This is the original shaft. I had also ordered a 314Z shaft for it. Didn't like it. I was foolish because I didn't know much about low deflection cues, but I really didn't care for it, so I sold it. I should have kept it. Now, the last cue I have is a McDermott. It's strange that I own a McDermott, and although they are a very good quality cue, I just don't care for them. I just don't care for the hit. It's a certain hit I like, and this doesn't have it. To me, a McDermott doesn't have that feel that these other three have. It's just strange. I mean, they're all made out of wood. They're all, there's just something that to me, it just doesn't connect with me. They are good quality cue. I'll never say anything bad about them. But for me, nah. Anyway, the only reason I have this one is this is the Mike Massey Enigma. The 05. This is the 2005 version. It was signed by Mike Massey, but the Sharpie has since worn off. I don't use it. It wore off while it was in my case, believe it or not. There's the gold embossed signature from Mike Massey, and he had written on there, "Jesus loves us, Mike Massey." I did not want him to make it out to me because it lowers the value of the stick. So if you ever wanted to resell it, you wouldn't have to find a person with the same name as you. But I'm going to have him sign it again next time I'm able to. And this time it's going to get clear coated. So this is your stock shaft. Everything about this stick is stock except the tip. This is also an Ultra Skin. I'm giving them the good, honest try, the Ultra Skins. So far they're doing okay, but we'll see how they hold up. They're in competition. This is a very, very beautiful stick. But the only reason I have it is Mike Massey's name is on it. I also have a signed cue ball from Stefano Palenga. My friends got for me when they went to Valley Forge. And it reads, "To Joe, Stefano Palenga, Mr. Trick Shots." Right there. That's a cheap $1, $2 cue ball, but it's still Stefano Palenga. For those of you who know who he is, he's a pretty awesome trick shot player, and he's a pretty awesome player in his, just by itself there. I don't get a chance to get out much because of my job, and that's why other people do these things for me, and I have great friends that will do that. This is my 18.4 ounce Jacoby, custom made Jacoby, made to the way I wanted it 18, the lightest he could get it at this length of cue, and the taper that I wanted was 18.4. Close, very close. That's good. That's like 18.25 ounces, so not bad. This is the 11/8 carbon fiber accelerate shaft by Matt. It says something down here. I can't tell you what it is. There's the Jacoby name. And if you remember the movie Pulp Fiction, and the restaurant scene where he asked Samuel L. Jackson or Jules, "What wallet is yours?" He's the one that says, "My bad, you know what," on it. And that's what it says. This is my break cue, 17 ounce. Jacoby, I guess it's they're the only ones that offer this type of tip. I still don't know what it's made out of. I don't know. I've asked cue makers, they don't know. Other cue makers. I asked a guy that took over for Paul Motti. He didn't know. So, I mean, But anyway, this is they're all made out of Bacody here, and the wrap here is bird's eye maple on my playing cue. And this one is called the Ned Splitter. There's all kind of them out there, ball buster, this and that. I wanted something that stood out by itself. Ned Splitter. My 25-ounce custom-made Massey cue. Actually, it's only custom because of the name. This is his standard Massey cue that he produces. And it's also Bacody and the bird's eye maple down here. Same theme. They all use the same joint, so it's pretty good when I need to have a shorty cue when I need it. And I can do that. I can use this one, or I could use my jump cue. But this thing is extremely fat. And I mean, once I learn how to use it, I mean, really use it, I will be even harder yet to save. This is my jump cue. This little thing has saved me more than once. It's very light. It's, I believe, 40 or 41 inches. The allow maximum, the shortest that you're allowed to have, and on the Pro Tour, I believe that's what it is 40 inches. I do not know how much this weighs. I don't. Maybe I should ask them. But again, it has the Bacody wood in the handle, the bird's eye maple at the bottom. And this one is called the Cajon Catapult. Notice all of them have what they do, what the stick is used for, and a reference to the spheres we hit called balls. So, in fact, the gentleman that made it, Brandon, he still laughs every time he thinks about it because he's never had anybody do that in that way. So he gets a good kick out of it, and he gave me a real deep discount on it because I am a combat veteran, and he's a good man and a true patriot. So that's what I play with now. These are what I've played with over the years. I will not order another custom-made stick because this is it. This is what I wanted. This is it. I may order a Revo just to have it in my collection, but I'm not going to go out of my way. If I happen upon a Revo for a decent price, I'll get it. But I just thought everybody might like to see what I play with. What type of cue I use. Next tip I'm going to give the good old honest try with is learn billiards as Mako. I believe that he would make something that's of good quality because he plays. It was designed by a pool player for a pool player. So, and those are the best type of products to me. Those are the best type of products to buy. So, okay. Oh yeah, it has a brass ferrule on this as well. I don't know what it is about the brass ferrule. Man, it gets it up and down. And it gets it up and down right now. Okay? All right, guys. Thanks for watching.